Friends, hello and welcome on TechGuruSpeaks.com. Today I would like to describe one of the important concepts of Java multi-threaded programming, and that is about Java thread synchronization. In Java multi-threaded programming, synchronization is a process of controlling the access of shared resources by multiple threads in such a manner that only one thread can access a particular shared resource or shared object at a time. A lock or monitor can be associated with a shared object. Basically, synchronization in Java is based on the concept of monitor or lock. The monitor or lock controls the way in which a thread can access a shared object in a synchronized way. If we are not using the thread synchronization, say for example non-synchronized multi-threaded applications, it is possible for one thread to modify a shared object while another thread is in the process of using the shared object's value. As a result, there will be a problem. So in order to solve the problem, the concept of thread in synchronization has been introduced in Java. A lock or monitor is used to synchronize access to a shared resource. At any point of time, at most only one thread can hold the lock. That means it can own the monitor and therefore have access to the shared object. A lock therefore implements mutual exclusion. That means at a time only one of the thread will be working on the shared resource or object, and at that time the other threads must wait for the particular currently executing thread to finish. So that is the concept to be implemented. Now there can be two ways through which the synchronized concept can be implemented in Java. Remember that synchronized is basically a non-access modifier like abstract, final, static. Now we can use either the synchronized blocks of code or the synchronized methods. So these are the two techniques that we can employ for implementing thread synchronization. Now this concept will be demonstrated by using the NetBeans IDE, which is one of the most popular IDEs for Java programming. Now let's move to the NetBeans IDE for coding demonstration. So I have the NetBeans IDE. Now I have got the class. It is called synchronize. Here we are having we are having multiple threads, but the number is basically 4 here. But before coming to the main class, I would like to discuss about the shared object class. Like the name of the class is shared, and we are going to create an object of this class which will be shared among multiple threads. Here the number is 4. So just look at the code here. So it is having a method. It is an instance method named void do work within the class named shared. It is having a string parameter. So it will be just printing some name here at the beginning of the method. Then comes a try block. So it will be pausing the currently executing thread for 500 milliseconds. So that means we are having a try catch block combination. So in the meantime other threads will be getting the chance to be executed. That is for non-threaded application, remember it. But for threaded application, I mean to say for multi-threaded application using thread synchronization, that will not occur. But first I will be giving you the idea of, say, multi-threaded Java application without using synchronization. So let's have a look at the output here. So it is the class shared, that is the thing I have discussed just now. Now we are going to create an object of this class, and that will be shared among multiple threads. So it is the reference of the class name shared. So we are having a thread like that has been created by using the extends option, like extends thread. So we are having now a customized thread class constructor, like we have passed a reference of the shared class and a message that is basically the name of the thread itself. So it is basically calling the superclass constructor, that is a thread class, by using the name. So that will be assigned to the thread itself. Now by using this technique, we are going to assign this local variable to the instance variable. Now we are calling start method. So at some point of time, whenever the thread will be selected by the thread scheduler, its run method will be executing. So then it will be just printing its name. So that is the statement inside the run method of the mythreading class. So till now I have discussed about the class for which we are going to create the shared object, and the class which will be, I mean to say, the class construct of the thread that will be using the shared class object. And we have also passed here a reference like shared reference, and we have passed a name of the thread also. So that is a second parameter being passed here. Now we are coming to the main code. So here we are having an object of the shared class being created here at the first line of the main method. So it is the main class synchronize. So we are having three classes: shared class, mythreading, that is the thread class construct, that is our version of customized thread class construct. By using the extends thread option, it is being created. Now we have got four threads here, because I have already talked about multiple threads being used. So I have assigned the shared object reference as well as the name of the particular thread being created. Now we are using the join method, so that main thread should wait for other user threads to finish, and for join method we must have the catch block. So in that sense we are having a try catch block. Now let's see what happens if we are going to run this program. So I have already told you this program is not having the synchronized feature being implemented. So that is why whenever a particular thread will be calling the sleep method within the try block, so what will happen, because from the run method the do work method will be get called. So as a result the sleep method will be invoked. So it will be pausing the currently executing thread for 500 milliseconds. So in the meantime the other threads will be getting their chance to execute. So first it will be showing starting first, then starting fourth, like each of the thread is being started here, but it is not getting its chance to finish. So that means there is no synchronization. Since I have told you that we are not using any synchronization here, it is a non-synchronized multi-threaded application. Now you can see what may be the effect of it. Like if we are not having any synchronization being implemented, so what will happen? So a particular thread may have started its execution, but it will not be getting its chance to finish. So there lies the problem. That means what? That means it is causing problem for the multi-threaded applications. So now in order to solve this problem, we will be using the concept of synchronized way of using threads, so that at any point of time only one of the threads will be working on the shared object and others must wait for the currently executing thread to finish. Whenever it will be finishing its task, one of the remaining threads will be assigned with the shared object. So that is the concept. Now I'll be implementing this concept here. So I have told you, like, we can have two techniques. Like either we can use the synchronized block. So there is a synchronized keyword. So it will be trying to provide mutual exclusion for the shared object. So that means here the shared reference. So I have provided it here. So it is the use of synchronized block. Remember it. It is basically the use of synchronized block. So by using synchronized block, we can provide mutual exclusion. So just yes. So some of the closing brace might have been deleted. So just I have made it right. So there is no compilation error. Now I will be trying to run this program by using this concept of synchronized block being implemented. So now you can see that starting fast, whenever a thread will be starting its work on the shared object, it will be getting its chance to finish. So that is why it will be showing this message, that is the name of the thread, I mean to say the name of the currently executing thread. There may be a pause of half seconds, but in the meantime no other threads will be allowed to execute, because the access to the shared object will be done in a synchronized way. So whenever the sleep is over, I mean to say whenever the pause time is over, it will be moving to the runnable state from the block state, because sleep is one of the block state. Now after some point of time it will be selected by the thread scheduler for execution, then it will be getting its chance for execution, and finally it will be printing this line. So in that way it will be showing this output. So the order might be different for different execution sequences, like here the thread fast has been started fast, but there might be scenario that other threads might be, it totally depends on the platform being implemented. So we can expect different output sequence for every run of the program. But one thing we can ensure here, that whenever a thread will be start working on a shared object, it will be getting its chance to finish, and the other threads, I mean to say the other waiting threads, must wait for the currently executing thread to finish. So in that way we can provide a synchronized access to the shared object. So that is done here by using the synchronized block. Now I will be doing it, I mean to say I will be trying to achieve it by using a synchronized method. So basically it is the method. So now I am using here a synchronized method. Now it's still ensuring the mutual exclusion. That means once a thread is assigned to the shared object for execution, it will be getting its chance to finish. So by using these two techniques, like either by using the synchronized block that is commented here, or by using the synchronized method, we can achieve monitor synchronization, which is basically providing here the mutual exclusion. So that is the basic concept of thread synchronization using monitor synchronization. The monitor or lock will ensure that only one of the threads will be allowed to work on the shared object, and while it is working on it, the other threads must wait. Whenever its job will be finished, the one of the other threads will be getting its chance to be executed, and that selection is done by the thread scheduler as usual. So that is the idea to be implemented, and that has been implemented by using the synchronized block or by using the synchronized method. So that's all for today. So I hope that you have thoroughly watched this video, And if you like this video, then please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. So here comes the URL of my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to my channel to support me. I need your support. Please visit my website techguruspeaks.com. You will get a lot of useful information here. And finally, I am having my official email ID, that is admin@techguruspeaks.com. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.